Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel's wife are also just the bane of my existence, okay? I can't stand these people. I want to start with this clip of Colbert, and then we'll discuss.
Why should shows like mine continue to exist, or like Kimmel or Jimmy or whatever?
And I said everyone plays with great affection, which is why
I said, why? Oh, we're like your friend who at the end of the day paid attention to the news more than you did. And you're aware of it. You just didn't do the detail work that we did. And then we curate that back to you at the end of the day.
The sheer elitism from Stephen Colbert. We're your friend who paid attention to the news more than you, and we're going to tell you what happened that day. I'm sorry. If I wanted to hear a bunch of crap, I would tune into Stephen Colbert. And here's the thing. Stephen Colbert, he used to be pretty funny. He used to be kind of funny. He used to be a little bit interesting. Now Stephen Colbert is nothing but a Democratic shill, and we saw it during 2020. We saw it with the pandemic and the pandemonium. There was no one pushing Big Pharma harder than Stephen Colbert. And for him to act like, okay, he's this holier-than-thou guy. He knows what's going on. He has his finger on the pulse. You don't, okay? And there's a reason all of these shows, their ratings are going down. We don't want to get our news from Stephen Colbert anymore, some little shill, when we can get it from social media, podcast, independent influencers, and journalists who really know what's going on. Okay, so Stephen Colbert, you're a flop. For you to sit there and act like you're this genius and you know things and you're going to tell the little people about what happened that day, that's filtered through your lens, okay? It's filtered through your own biases. That's who you are, Stephen Colbert. So I don't find you that funny, and I don't find you that interesting. Someone else I don't find that interesting is Jimmy Kimmel's wife. I don't know why we have to listen to Jimmy Kimmel's wife, but she went absolutely viral over the weekend for some comments she made about losing family members because they happen to support President Trump.
And there's like a little bit of sympathy I have for people in my family that I feel are kind of being deliberately misinformed every day.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
They're deliberately being misinformed every day. Mm-hmm. And they believe it. But it hurts me so much because of the personal relationship I now have, where my husband is out there fighting this man. And to me, them voting for Trump is them not voting for my husband and me and our family. I wish I could like deprogram myself in some way, but I get really angry. And I've sent many emails to family like right before the election saying, I'm begging you, here's the 10 reasons not to vote for this guy.
How come this is always coming from one side? Okay, these Democrats, these liberals, they don't want to accept their conservative, their common sense, their independent family members. We don't see this from the right, okay? I'm conservative. Many of you watching this are conservative. You might be MAGA, MAHA, independent, just right of center, okay? We don't exile people from our lives because they happen to think a little bit differently, because they happen to vote a little bit differently, okay? But the left, they love to preach about diversity and all of this inclusion, but they don't actually like diversity of thought because they are willing to lose family members all because they voted for President Trump. Because a family member said, you know what, I believe there are two genders. I want a secure border. I want common sense. That is worth losing a family member over. The LA Hollywood elite, slimy, smarmy attitude from Jimmy Kimmel, his wife, and everybody on that podcast, it makes my skin crawl. It makes my skin crawl because they want to point the fingers to the right. They want to point at the right and say, you guys don't accept us. You guys are bigoted and small-minded. You all are the most small-minded people. If anybody steps out of your pre-prescribed doctrine, you're sending nasty emails to your family members. She said, I tried to deprogram myself. She said her family members were being deliberately misinformed. I'm here to tell you, you living in your rich, fancy neighborhood in Hollywood, you're probably pretty misinformed about the issues that actually matter to Americans, okay, across the country. I don't want to hear from Jimmy Kimmel, who makes millions of dollars a year, or his wife, who gets to spend his millions of dollars a year. I don't want to hear from her about the issues. I just don't, okay? You guys can choose to live in liberal, failing California. We're going to be here in reality. Ever read the label on a typical bag of chips? It's often a science experiment of seed oils, MSG, artificial dyes, and mystery ingredients. Masa is part of the growing movement to bring back real food. Masa's chips contain just 3 ingredients: organic corn, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed beef tallow. Not only do these chips avoid the bad stuff, they also taste incredible too. Snacking on Masa chips is nothing like eating regular chips. With Masa, you feel satisfied, light, and energetic with no crash, bloat, or gross, sluggish feeling afterwards. You won't find yourself binging and feeling hungry. Personally, my favorite flavor of Masa is the original. If you love Masa, then you'll love Vandy Crisps. Vandy, Masa's sister company, makes the most delicious 3-ingredient potato chips I've ever tasted. My favorite flavor is Smokehouse Barbecue. Ready to give Masa or Vandy a try? Use code LINK for up to 25% off your first order at masachips.com or vandycrisps.com, or simply click the link in the video description or scan the QR code to claim this delicious offer. And if you don't feel like ordering online, Masa and Vandy are now available nationwide at your local Sprouts supermarket, so stop by and pick up a couple of bags before they're gone.